So we have just, I think, got to where we're going to get the time that we have left of PTR for this build. But this is FO Hydra, and we're going to do a little showcase just to kind of put it through its paces and show it off a little bit. So, oh, and we lost our Helltide while I was getting the stream set up. All right, we will start somewhere else. Let's maybe start with a boss. Maybe we'll do Andariel.
I need time to prepare that.
So that's Andariel.
Did you truly think all of this would be that easy?
Neato. Get a double showcase, double boss. So that's ambush Belial. Should we do a Belial? Or no? Do a quick Belial. And this is tier 4.
I need time to prepare that.
Haven't done him yet in the ye old PTR.
Crushed like the insects you are.
Pretty confident in the build, even though I've never done him before with this character, or even in the PTR at all. Smackdown. All right. So that was Belial. We'll do a quick run through before we run out to Helltide and see what it looks like in T4 general content. But so this build is FO Hydro. It focuses on 2 critical factors. One is plus core skills, and the other one is primordial binding. So with Air Perdition, got triple crit on core skills. Lucky hit chance, you don't need that GA. Probably be better off if it was critical strike. But core skills, you need GA, and you want to triple crit that. This is critical for the build. Shroud of False Death. The main thing that we really need out of this is the +1 to all passives, although I will say that the all stats is very helpful in hitting all those bonuses in the Paragon. So you're going to want GA on all stats. resource generation I think is helpful, but the only reason I have masterwork on there is because I didn't triple crit the all stats, and the maximum life really doesn't make any difference at all because we are using the mana shield, so our life is basically nothing. So the max life really doesn't help. What you want here, the key thing is you want GA all stats, and you want at least 2 hits. 3 would be better, but at least 2 hits on the all stats. Then we are running Axial Conduit, which is kind of like the all-purpose Sorc. But we have another purpose to this. It is helping with damage generation, but the resource generation max, that's where you actually want the GA and a triple crit if you can. Because it's going to really skyrocket your mana, which is very helpful for this build. Also, the Chain Lightning, because we are running unstable currents, it should be able to, yes, a random shock skill. So I'm hoping that this will benefit. I haven't really tested it, but I think that it will. Next up, we have the classic Frozen Orb Hydra critical item, Fractured Winterglass. Of course, in Season 10, we now have Chaos Uniques, so we're able to put that somewhere other than the neck. I've got that on pants. Non-physical, it's great. I'm so happy that's GA, but I probably would have preferred the Frozen Orb twice. And I definitely would want so you want the critical GA here is Primordial Binding, and ideally you want the Masterwork triple crit on Primordial Binding. This is in the build. How I have it on max roll is how you want it. You will see some differences here. It's not because I'm sneakily running some other thing than what I'm publishing. It's just because I've tested a lot of builds and leveling on the PTR, so I kind of just ran out of time spamming MREC to get the exact right pieces. So once again, you want GA on Primordial Binding, and you want a triple crit Primordial Binding. It's absolutely critical to this build. And then we got Ophidian Iris, another awesome neck piece that we don't have to wear on the neck. This one, you definitely want GA on Primordial Binding. I think it's okay to split on this particular piece between Primordial and Intelligence with the Masterwork. It's probably going to depend on your build, what other pieces you have and how things come together. Again, key priorities here are Primordial and plus core skills, but Intelligence is also a big damage booster, particularly because of the Mana Shield Chaos perk. Then on the wand, I know everyone's going to say I'm crazy because I'm not running the Hydra Heads thing, but this is the Frozen Orb Hydra. This is not the Hydra meta build. It's my own variant. I like Hydra Frozen Orb. It's my go-to leveling build, so I wanted to see if I could make this shine in Season 10 with the Chaos Uniques. So Intelligence, I took damage over time just because I think it's going to help with the burn damage, and I happened to get a 2GA with this. I had plenty of int with critical strike damage. That works too. Honestly, I think that is less important. What is important here is that you have GA Intelligence, and you do want those hits on Frozen Orb, especially if you do not have it GA on the Winterglass. So if you did have GA on the Winterglass here, you probably could get away with not triple hitting this here and maybe putting one into Intelligence, but again, you'll have to go by what gear you get and what you have in your build. This one really important. you need the critical strike chance GA and you need the cooldown reduction GA. I'm not sure what's better here. I think you probably would want at least one hit on cooldown reduction and 2 hits on Hydras. But if you find you're hitting your breakpoints on CDR without that one, then put obviously all 3 into the Hydra heads. Tell Russia, obviously, again, we want CDR as the GA, and you'd ideally want that triple crit. Starless, I got kind of lucky. I would have rather had attack speed than lucky hit, but it is what it is. Lucky hit doesn't hurt. You would ideally want triple crit on core skills on the Starless. And then the beautiful. So we're running Winterglass and Ophidian, not on the neck, so that we can run another neck with more Primordial. I've got attack speed on here because when I first started this build, I did not have unstable currents. I think unstable currents, if we get the cooldown right, is going to have close to 100% uptime, and that's going to cover the attack speed breakpoints. So ideally here, I probably would want to have a GA primordial binding, and then cooldown reduction in place of attack speed, and then the intelligence, critically important. You need to have intelligence on here. And I am running Storm Swell for the aspect. And then, yeah, on Dreamcatcher, we're running Serpentine, obviously. So we've got the aspects, we've got Frozen Orbit, we've got Serpentine, and we've got Storm Swell. It's truly an FO Hydra. So that is basically where we're at. I'm not going to talk through all of the skills and paragons, but I will do a quick one through. So if people are wanting to screenshot this instead of going to max roll, whatever floats your boat, man. So this is irrelevant. Obviously, everybody knows, just put the 2 in here to get to the next stuff. So we're maxing out Frozen Orb. And I just said I'm not going to talk through everything. I suggest going to max roll because these numbers, you're not going to be able to tell what's coming from gear and what's coming from points spent. But just to get an idea of how the build is spec'd through here. Right. And then on Paragon, on the starter board, we are running Tactician. And then we've got Static Surge as our number 2 board. And on Static Surge, we're running Elementalist. Now, this one is questionable. I'm probably going to get a lot of comments and feedback on why the hell do you have Static Surge. The quite simple answer is because I had a Chain Lightning FO first. And it's basically the same Paragon board. I probably will want to replace this with a Burning. I'm not sure yet whether it would be Searing Heat or I don't know. It's probably going to go to a burn damage board. But anyways, board number 3 is Frigid Fate. And we're running Exploit. Board number 4, Elemental Summoner. We're running Destruction. And board number 5, Enchant Master. And we are running Unleash. So that's the basic walkthrough. Let's go and see how this does in T4 general content. Yeah, let's go to Nahantu Helltide. Little change of scenery from the normal zones.
Pardon me, stranger. Could you...
Sometimes.
Okay, so T4 Helltide. Massive lag. I'm not causing that. You can see, if you look at the mini map, this stuff is just getting deleted. So, T4 general content,
I need
walk in the
time to
park.
prepare that.
You can move through pretty quickly, crush stuff.
I'm not ready yet.
Let's see if we can find a Chaos Rift just to show it.
I'm not ready yet.
I don't really want to do a maiden because I think that would take too much time. Oh, there's a rift down there.
I'm not ready yet.
So, Chaos Rift.
I need time to prepare.
Vaporized.
I'm not ready yet.
Yep. So, T4 Chaos Rift. Not a problemo.
I need time to prepare that.
Yeah. So I think that's probably enough Helltide to demo. And we will pop up to Surgar. We're in a pit. Now, I just cleared a 95. I cleared it with about 8 minutes to spare. But I have not tried 100 yet. I have 100 unlocked. I am sure that this build could do 100 if I had all the right gear. But just for the sake of a faster run, I'm going to do 90. But yeah, if you know, I ran 95 with 8 minutes to spare, and I don't have all the right GAs and Masterwork. So if you do this exactly as it is on max roll with those Masterworks and GAs, this will easily do 100. I don't know if it will get to the point where it's speed running 100, but it'll easily clear 100. So, you know, if your goal is pushing very high tier pits, this may not be the build for you, but
I'm not ready yet.
if you just want to do all the content and get your glyphs to 100 without struggling, this can easily do that.
I need time to prepare. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I need time to prepare. I need time to prepare. I'm not ready yet.
Hopefully,
I need
if I get some time tomorrow before the PTR comes down, I'll try to fix a couple of my pieces, at least the masterwork. If I'll see if I can get some GAs, the right ones, and fix the masterwork. I would love to have 100. If I do get around to having the time to do that tomorrow before it comes down, I will link
I'm not ready yet.
to that video from the comments in this one, just so people can see the 100 run.
I need time to prepare. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I need time to prepare. I need time to prepare. I need time to prepare. I'm not ready yet.
So, I mean, it's putting out pretty good damage. I turned off crits because I was getting really annoyed about not being able to see the little plus marks on the hit point buff guys,
I need time to prepare.
which mattered when I was running 95. Doesn't matter as much here, but you can still see the overpowers just so we have some point of reference for damage numbers.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I need time.
Oh man, for the dead end. I hate this map.
I'm not ready yet.
That's gonna blank our time. Oh, there we go. Cool. Thing that really surprised me is how this thing handles bosses.
I need time to prepare.
I'm used to Sorks, you know, being able to blow through the pit and then really struggle with the boss. Not this build. So that's it. That's pit 90 done. I didn't catch the clock, but I'm sure you guys watching can stop, pause the video, and see how long it took us. I think we're about maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. So that's the build. Oh, I realized that I forgot one part. So Chaos Perks, I'm not totally set on these. Mana Shield is a definite go. This core skill rank, that has to be there. Freeze and Frozen Orb, and we're making Hydra into a core skill. So, you know, your primary 2 damage skills are getting a 20% buff. So that's, I think that has to stay in. Power Siphon, core skills drain 100 increase damage, but also reduce your maximum current resource. Well, I'll show you in a second why I'm not too worried about the resource, but 100% increased damage on core skills. Again, Frozen Orb, Hydra, both core skills in this build. And then right now I've got this erupting chaos, the chaotic bursts. I kind of feel like this is working well. Um, there are some other sort builds running different things, so I've tried these. I tried chaotic cooldowns. Um, I did not like that. I thought it was crap. Mana infused conjurations could work. We are using, um, we have Hydra, Lightning Spear, and Ice Blade, so that's a potential. That one could go. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I kind of feel like this is better, but maybe when I try the 100 run, I'll do a variant with this. This is a possible replacement for the Erupting Chaos. But these are pretty solid, and these are straight benefits to the two main damage dealers of the build. And Mana Shield is essential because it's like all of our defense. The only points that we really have, I'll show this real quick. The only points that we really have in defensive passives are coming from items, which allows us to go full bore on offensive. So you can see stuff that quote warding, that's all from items. This is all devastation's all from items. Oh, I did put one in dampen layer and energy focus, but nothing in elemental attunement, nothing in mana shield, nothing in protection. 1 point in align the elements, just to get a little buffer for one shots from bosses. But yeah, so the fact that we're getting so insane defense from our mana shield is allowing us to spend more of our passive points on damage. And this is why we're not worried about how much mana we're burning and why we are so strong with Mana Shield, because we have 20k mana, almost 21, 20,900 mana. That is bonkers. That's crazy. It might get nerfed. I hope it doesn't get nerfed because that mana is contributing significantly into our damage and our defense. But yeah, that is the build. I think it performs well all throughout T4. Bosses are crushed. General content crushed. Chaos Rifts and Helltides crushed. Pit 90 crushed. 95 was, like I said, I had about 8 minutes, so it was like a 7-minute run. It's not a speed run by any stretch of the imagination, but my rule of thumb is usually if you have 6 minutes or more, you can bump up. So I'm confident this will run 100 with the right master working in GAs. But anyway, there you have it. I'm going to jump off because it is very late at night, but I was really eager to share this, having just put the finishing touches on the state that it's in. So if you like the build, play the builds, like, follow, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff helps. The build is on Maxroll. Once this video goes to YouTube, I will add the build link to there, and I will also add the showcase link to Maxroll. So thanks again for watching, and remember, like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It really helps. Thanks. Bye.